What is up, everybody? Getting locked in, Dave the Wave.
Man, that nickname's really growing on me, cousin.
I know, and more people are calling you Dave the Wave now, and it all started with Locked In.
I know. At least like 19 just ordinary people coming up to me all the time like, oh my gosh, that's the amazing Dave the Wave.
Soon people are going to just start doing the wave. And when you have to say your name, you just see everyone start doing the wave. It's Dave.
That's my goal. Like, I wanted praise with my Henry Cejudo pick, and now my second goal is when I walk down the streets of Florida, I want people to do the wave in front of me.
That's a good goal.
Thanks, man.
But we're expecting a former UFC fighter calling into the studio to address, well, first of all, who is it? The one and only
Jim Alers.
There we go. Locked In alum.
Yep.
But now current Locked In on the roster to call in. He'll be talking about his gym he's opening up. He has a fight in Russia. He has a fight with Combat Night in Mitchell Chamali. So it's going to be a great phone call, but there's so much preseason NFL to talk about.
Yeah. So let's not waste any time. Like, let's just go into it, talk about teams, players, whatever jumped at you. Every team has played at least once. Some teams have played twice. And let's just start with it. Rookie quarterbacks. That's like the preseason is based about rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Cousin, who jumped at you, who looked exceptional, who looked just mediocre, and who looked horrible?
Sam Darnold, I think we both agreed was going to be the best quarterback out of this draft.
He's locked my stock.
Yeah. And I'm upset that the Giants passed up on him. And watching this, I'm even more upset that the Giants passed up on him. We're going to look back at this as a Giant fan base, as a community, and be, what were we doing?
Wow.
I know Saquon Barkley is going to be explosive. He'll be electric, but he's not going to be Sam Darnold. He's not going to give you the wins that Sam Darnold will produce for the Jets. Watching this preseason just kind of reaffirms I'm just disappointed. As a fan, I'm just disappointed because you know for a fact he's locking it in. He's backing up what his stock is. We locked our stock into Sam Darnold, and he's proving it like in the preseason.
Cuzzo.
You see flashes of greatness.
To move where you said about Barkley, that's just Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell. The two best kind of running backs in the world. Todd Gurley was on the Rams. He's been on the Rams for 2-3 years. But and it wasn't until they got Jared Goff and he started playing at a high level at quarterback, that's when the Rams took the next step.
Yeah.
Like Le'Veon Bell, he's great.
That's a great point.
When Ben Roethlisberger, without Le'Veon Bell, he has a better record. It's like if the quarterback is set, running backs are cool. And that Barkley is going to be really good. Like, he is going to be good. It's not a down. It's not a smash on Barkley. But you need the quarterback. And if Eli Manning, doesn't play exceptional well, he's old. They should have got Darnold, cousin.
They should have.
They had to pick Sam Darnold.
You look at Dak Prescott and you look at Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas, and everyone says, well, Ezekiel left. They didn't make the playoffs. Well, I guarantee you if it was the other way around and Dak Prescott was the irresponsible one, he wasn't playing, and it was Ezekiel Elliott that was playing as a running back, there's no question they don't make the playoffs. That's not even the fact. That's not even the question being asked. You need a quarterback. Sam Darnold, I think, is like one of those talents you don't pass up on, and they did it.
They did. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go with the number 1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns. I have HBO at the house, cousin. I love HBO. I love their shows. Ballers just came back. They got movies like Justice League. I TiVo'd it. I recorded I watched it 5 times. Colin loves it. I love HBO. But my all-time favorite show is Hard Knocks. I love Hard Knocks. It's all the behind the scenes. It's like you see the business savvy of the football. It's so unplugged. It's just they cuss nonstop. You see a lot, like a lot. You ready for this? Baker Mayfield looks good, man. Like, I was an anti-Baker Mayfield guy. I would have picked Sam Darnold with the number 1 overall pick. So you and I are, hey, I'm a Sam Darnold guy. But I thought Baker wouldn't make the league in 4 years. I think Baker Mayfield's going to be a quarterback in this league.
I agree with that. And
okay.
Here's the weird thing. It's almost like a Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball factor. It's like Lonzo Ball, given the expectations LeVar Ball set for him, is setting him up for failure. So it's no matter what he does. He had a pretty good rookie year. You'd still take him top 3 if you redrafted. You may put Tatum above him, of course, but you would still take Lonzo Ball up there as a lottery pick. But being better than Steph Curry right away, those type of expectations sets you up for failure. And the same thing is with Baker Mayfield. I think he will be a quarterback in this league. I really do. he's not going to be Drew Brees. He's not going to live up to that first number 1 overall pick when you have people like Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold in your draft class. So like you said, I agree. He's going to be a quarterback in this league, a legit quarterback, but as a number 1 overall pick, I don't think he'll live up to those expectations.
100% agree. He can play Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill, Joe Flacco level. I think he can be a borderline like the 22nd best quarterback. Alex Smith. I think he can be like an Alex Smith type of player. But yet to spend the number 1 overall pick on him and be in Cleveland, you thought just Sam Darnold was I know he's a California kid, but he's just big and husky and just I think Darnold would have been the absolute pick for Cleveland.
And yeah, because you look at Cleveland too as an unstable franchise, an organization, and you need somebody who's stable. Yes. And organized, and that's Sam Darnold. Baker's been, what is his criticism? He's emotional. He's he's kind of up and down.
Off the scene.
Yeah. So Cleveland, you want stability, and I think you drafted a quarterback who may not offer the most stability. But that being said, there's the Dez Bryant situation. So say Dez Bryant becomes a Cleveland Brown. Does that affect Baker for good or worse?
I would say for good.
Really? Because that's a lot of ego. That's a lot of personality. That's my touches. You think that's fine?
I do. When you're a rookie, you need talent. Like, you need to throw the ball to talent. And what happened if he, week 7, week 9, week 10, whenever he gets in, all that stuff, he throws a ball in the end zone, and it's a C- wide receiver. They don't catch it, but maybe Dez catches it, and that makes Baker look that much better.
But does Dez catch it?
Good point.
I say because last year was not his best year.
Totally.
He didn't separate like he used to. He's not the most defined, organized type of receiver. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have the great fundamentals. I think he relied a lot on his pure athleticism and God-given talents.
Wow. Agree. Dez Bryant, here's my perfect analogy. Probably going to be the analogy of the day. I'm going to lock this in. Best analogy. Dez Bryant reminds me so much of Carmelo Anthony right now.
Not refined, but just God-given talent.
Exactly. Really in their prime, great players.
That's actually a great analogy because right now Carmelo's struggling.
Yeah, he's struggling, but I think they're both underrated in a way now. Like, no one wants Carmelo, and he doesn't play defense. Guys, a lot of that is true. But if he's the Rocket, if he's their 5th best player, and he comes off the bench, like, he can score. Like, he can still play a role. He's better than 80 players in the league. Like, he can still play. And Dez Bryant, he's not a number 1 receiver anymore, but they got Juice Landry over there in Cleveland. If Dez can just be a number 2 and be more of a goal line package guy, he can still get you 6, 8 touchdowns. I don't think he's a top 10 guy. I don't think he's a top 20 guy, but he should be in the league. He's a good wide receiver.
That's a legitimate point because that's probably one of the best analogies you've ever come up with. They both lack self-awareness.
All right, guys, end the podcast. Have a great night.
They both lack self-awareness.
Yes.
They both have big egos.
Yes.
They both didn't take care of their bodies as seriously as they may have now, so it's kind of come back to bite them. Mm-hmm. But here's the question. I agree with everything you said, but here's the little caveat is, are they able to put those egos aside and understand and accept that role of not being that guy anymore? Because Carmelo Anthony, I agree with it. I think he's almost underrated to a point because he's not worth max money. But if he understands that and he actually plays that role, then yes, he's valuable. He has a sense of you need him, but he's a necessity. But then if he wants the ball more, he can hurt you.
Sure.
So is Dez Bryant able to take that step back and say, okay, you know what? I'm not Dez Bryant of old, but I definitely can contribute.
That's the question to be had. That is the question. The answer, though, is no one's gave him a deal. We're 2 weeks out because we're mid-August. Season starts September. He wants to play in the league. I would assume he wants a job. So I would think that he would say, man, I didn't get a lot of offers. I didn't get a multi-year offer at all. No team at all. Even Cleveland saying we're going to give you a 1-year deal.
But that's what's weird. Didn't the GM say they called him multiple times and he didn't pick up the phone?
I don't know. It's
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he goes on Twitter. He bashes Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, which isn't a good look anyway. Like, don't take it to Twitter of all things. But then have the situation where you have a team that is offering to get you. You kind of expressed interest in the Cleveland Browns. Why wouldn't you pick up the phone?
I know it's like you call someone, they don't answer your call, but you see them on Instagram. It's like, come on, bro. I gave you that call.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's weird. Egos, money and egos.
It is. Okay, let's keep on talking about preseason. We mentioned his name a couple times. Let's talk about Barkley and your New York Football Giants. He looked great on that one run. He's showing why he should have been a top 5, top 10 pick. So he looked really good. I thought the Giants offensively, didn't sink in, but we'll get it. Whoa. Cousin, we got Jim calling in.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's get it.
Jim, you there?
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing, Jim? Max and Dave here, getting locked in. Appreciate your call.
For sure. Sorry I called late. I just got out of training right now.
Good thing you're tough. But yeah, thank you so much for calling. So you have so many big things to talk about. You have so much news going on. You just opened up a gym. How's that been?
It's doing good right now. I opened it up at the right time. The gym I used to work at a UFC gym, and they just closed it down out of nowhere, and a lot of people were out of jobs and stuff. But about 2 weeks before that, I decided to open up my own gym. And, I signed my own lease. And so I got blessed that one of the old owners is a good friend of mine. So I was able to get a lot of their gear and stuff for basically nothing. So it's a good startup for my gym. And right now, I'm just doing pre-sales and whatnot. And I hope that after this upcoming fight I have, I open it up and get started.
Former UFC fighter Jim Alers joining us right now. So obviously we're honored to have you on. You talked about opening up your gym. Where's the location of this gym? So people listening to this, they want to go to your gym. They want to check it out when it's opening. Where's it at? Where's all the information?
It's going to be in West Pembroke Pines. So if you're in that area, it's right next to West Broward High School. I chose that area just because there's no other gyms around there, any kind of MMA, jiu-jitsu style gyms. My instructor, Veit Rocha, he's all the way in East Pines. I'll be West Pines, and I think we'll just take over Pembroke Pines from there. So if you're in that area, definitely check it out. My website's AlersMartialArts.com, and all the information is right there.
Awesome. We'll do. Hey, Jim, this is Dave. We'll definitely pass up the word. Any pictures and addresses and all that, we'll definitely throw in our social media platforms to try to get out the word for you. Hey, you're a fighter. Let's talk about fighting. You got 2 fights coming up, so let's take the first one first. Russia. How did you get this fight? Is that something you wanted to do to travel over? Talk about that whole experience about getting this fight in Russia.
So I've always said, if I get nothing out of MMA, at least I want to be able to travel the world on someone else's dime. And, this right now will be my 7th country that I've gone and fought in. I fought in Abu Dhabi. I fought in Bahrain, Jordan, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and now Russia will be the 7th one.
That's incredible.
I was just reaching out to a lot of people on Facebook. I don't really have a manager. I kind of just like to do it myself. My coaches have always helped me out. But a guy named Jason Ellis, he has a management company, and he was just helping me out, and I'm very thankful that he introduced me to the Russian people, and that's how the fight got started.
That's incredible. And like you said, traveling the world is just an experience of its own, and then let alone doing something you love in fighting. You also have something going on with Combat Night with Mitchell Chamali, right?
Yep. So also, when I'm done with this fight, I'm coming back, staying in shape. I have a fight with Combat Night Pro Miami, South Florida. It's going to be their, I believe, 6th pro card, and it's going to be their biggest card down here, 10 amateur fights, 10 pro fights. We have a lot of local good talent on the card, and, I hope to just get on that. That will be my 20th pro fight and possibly my last fight. We'll see. I know a lot of people say this is their last fight, and, it's all how my body feels. So, but for right now, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be my last fight. It'll be 10 years as a professional on August 23rd. And I think it's just time for me to move on and, go into different things.
Yeah, nice round numbers. You said 10 years, your 20th fight. It could be one of those things. Still fighting down south. It could be, one of those perfect stories. John Elway ending for you, and then getting these 2 wins in a row, because we got 2 wins in the books for you coming up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm getting these wins, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So.
You've had a great career, and then obviously you're fighting in a great organization with Combat Night, and now you're moving on to bigger and better things. Like you said, opening up your own gym, that's definitely inspirational. We do have a theory we want to run by you. So John Fitch liked this theory. We have some coaches that like this theory. So we want your opinion. this Demetrius Johnson and Henry Cejudo fight kind of caps it off for us as far
the
as
spark of it.
Yeah, why we definitely want this. We think after every round, the judges should submit their score on who won that round. So the fans see it, the fighters see it, the coaches see it. So fighters and everybody going into round 2 knows there's no confusion on who won round 1. And we feel like there's no more robberies anymore because now if you're down 2 rounds and you thought it was 1-1, you know you need to finish for the 3rd round. Do you like that?
You know I need to finish. I like that idea. I think it'll play a little bit on fighters' emotion.
Yes. Yes.
I bet a lot of times fighters will be like, man, I won that round. How did it, and they'll start questioning themselves a little bit. But I definitely like the idea, when I fought Jason Knight in the UFC, very close fight. And, at the time I was with a gym that, I don't know how to say it without but I was with a gym that the coaches, they were like, yes, man. They were telling, man, you did great. You won that round. I went back and watched the fight, and I personally, for me, I feel like I lost, the rounds that they said I won. So I was cruising in, not with much urgency of like, man, I need to finish this fight. And 3rd round I come in and I'm like, man, I don't feel like I'm winning this fight. So 3rd round I came in hard, but still I didn't finish it. And if I would have known I was down, 2 rounds to, whatever, I definitely would have come out with, everything I got to try to finish that fight, whatever it took. So I kind of like that idea for sure.
Absolutely. Every sport we deal with, Jim, has a scoreboard. Soccer, football, basketball, baseball. And I know you said the emotion part of it, but that's I think that could be a positive for the fights. If Mike Perry knows he's down 2 rounds to nothing, he's coming in the 3rd for a knockout. Sometimes in football, you're a quarterback, you see you're down 14-0, and it kind of messes with your psyche a little bit. I think that can be so beneficial. And you said about the coaches. That's a great point. I've never really thought about that. It's hard. It is so hard to tell your fighter, man, maybe you lost that round, because you want to be as positive as possible. You want to pump them up and get them hyped and get ready. You got 30 seconds to go out there for war, right? So it's tough. That's a great point by you.
Yeah, it's definitely a good point on his part because I couldn't believe it at first, but then talking to more people, it's a legitimate thing. Coaches not telling their fighters if they truly won that round. So appreciate your feedback on that one.
For sure. Yeah, I know it's hard, but, you need to have honest people in your corner. And, they need to tell you, hey, I don't think you did enough for that round. You need to go out there and bust your ass because you're not here to cruise through a fight. You're here to win the fight.
Yeah. And then, so Jim, you have 2 fights coming up. Where are you training right now before your gym opens up? So where are you getting down right now to get ready for Russia and getting ready for Combat Night?
So, most of my career was in Orlando, and I trained in a smaller gym, and I would go from gym to gym and kind of learn from everyone. And I felt like that really helped me out, I think for my first UFC fight, most of my training I did was with, at a small gym called Tough as Nails with a bunch of, tough up-and-coming guys. Mitchell Chamali was the only pro guy on the team, and we would train, but we would have hard-ass training, And for some reason, I felt, oh, man, I'm in the UFC now. I need to go get harder training, and I moved to South Florida, went to American Top Team, and probably the worst decision I ever made.
Wow.
When I was there, they have tough guys, but you're just a number to them. And I was training, and I think for my fight, they didn't even corner me. They ended up somebody got pulled off the card or something that was for American Top Team, and they ended up leaving. And I had Mitchell and my coaches from Orlando who luckily came up. They came to corner me instead, So
that's crazy.
I decided, it's time to go back to that. Go back to just training with people who care about me. And so I trained my jiu-jitsu. I trained with Wagner Rocha, one of the top jiu-jitsu guys right now in the world. Definitely in the combat jiu-jitsu circuit. He's killing it right now.
Yeah.
I also train at Fight Sports, where Chi goes to. We'll have Tuesday and Thursday pro grappling, no-gi grappling, tons of black belts on the mat. And, we go for 2.5-hour training sessions. I do my MMA, at a new spot. It was a branch off of Black Zillion. And small gym, again, maybe only 15 fighters there. And it's called right now You Fight Sport with Jay-Z MMA. Jay-Z Cavalcante is one of the coaches there, and, I definitely like his style. It reminds me of my own style, and it's definitely a good push there. So I'm just kind of going all over the place, traveling around, training with people who I feel have their best interest for me.
That's awesome. Okay, so can you plug away for us? Where can people find you? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff?
Right now on my Instagram, it's Fight Gym, just Fight JIM at gmail.com. I'm very active on there. I put a lot of stuff out. My fan page, Jim the Beast Alers, on Facebook, and I'm on social media a lot, doing whatever. Especially on my Instagram, I'm writing on my stories. I'm sharing my training, and I think people will be able to follow me around and see what's happening in my fights with the gym. I plan on doing something different with the gym. I know I want to really push it towards families and grow people,
That's awesome.
Grow people from 5, 6 years old, and hopefully in the future, they're still with it and they're pushing it. And, maybe one day they can have their own gym, see the role model that I was, and, kind of follow in my footsteps and do the same thing, hopefully.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And then
we
get locked in here. Dave and I already spoke about it. You said it a little earlier. We definitely have you winning both these 2 fights coming up, and you definitely got our support.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll be putting the link to the Russia fight on my Instagram. It'll be in my bio. To be honest, I don't even know the name of the organization.
we saw a couple pictures, and it's a tough one.
I can't even tell you the guy I'm fighting. I can't pronounce his name. But I know that he's 20-2, has a lot of fights. But to me, records are for DJs. That don't mean anything. I'm going to go in there and do things.
That's awesome, man. And Jim, when you get the gym close, when you're ready to open it, reach out to us. Maybe Max and I will come down there to South Florida.
We're already there, Dave. Maybe. We're already there.
There you go. We would love to anything to help support it, promote it. Maybe we'll take out the mics. We'll get our smiles out there and, spread the word.
Anything but get in the ring with you.
Very cool.
Guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate the support.
Awesome, man.
And, it's something every fighter needs.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jim, for giving us your time. Have a great one.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Wow, Dave. What an amazing interview. Jim Alers, just when you think you see it all in the MMA game, he's opening up his own gym, moving on to what he truly wants to do. And like he said, is make better people. That's an incredible message. And that's why I love the sport so much, is we say it all the time, the nicest people we know are the toughest people. You got Taylor, Chris, and Mike, and Anderson, and Pete. But it's just Jim Alers is another example of that.
Yeah. I can't wait in Combat Night in South Florida, September 22nd. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I can't wait. Combat Night's an amazing organization.
It is. But okay, we're in the middle of Saquon Barkley, so I'm sticking with it.
Don't insult my running back. It's Saquon.
Barkley.
There we go. Saquon Barkley. He's electric, Dave. He's electric. I love Sam Darnold to death, but there's no question about it. Saquon's definitely going to be a legitimate running back.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And he is, to me, a perfect match with Odell. I think that's peanut butter and jelly.
He is, and you have an aging quarterback in Eli. I think we can all pretty much agree he's kind of on the back end of his career. You always know you have that explosive, kind of just like that backup, if anything goes wrong, throw it up to Odell, he'll catch it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like you just said, adding Saquon Barkley gives a little off Odell now. So now it's just another offensive weapon you have to worry about as the defense. So as a Giants fan, I am excited for next season.
Okay.
I think they could be a dark horse. Just throwing it in there.
Me too.
Ah.
August 28th, where we have our NFL preview show. So we'll have dark horses. We'll have MVP candidates, our playoff teams, just an open discussion platform about all things football. August 28th, Facebook Live.
I'm looking forward to it. But are we getting locked in?
If you want to.
I got my locked-in list ready for like the next 50 episodes. So it's which one do I pick is the question.
I only have 37.
But before we want to say thank you to our sponsors. Go to myfitmeals.com and start your meal plan anytime you want, adjusted for you, gain weight, lose weight. You don't have time to cook, you're busy with working. Dimitri, they're both beasts. Dimitri from Fit Meals will get you right. We also have Pep-Boys.
Pep-Boys. I got a story about Pep-Boys. I was just in there a couple days ago, and every time I go in there, they're so busy. Like, multiple people in line, and I was like, Richie, we're spreading the word. We're showing it on social media platforms. We talk to people about going to Pep-Boys. I'm like, you're sure you want more customers to come? They're packed. But he goes, no, we want more the better. So they're over there at 2250 West International Speedway, right across from the racetrack, Max.
And one note's an interesting point is I have went to Firestone before we got involved with Pep-Boys, right?
What?
So I was so tired of going to Firestone, constantly. I'm like, God, there's always an issue. Next week, oh, there's an issue. Next week, oh, there's an issue. I was tired of seeing the same faces. With Pep-Boys, it's a love relationship, not a hate relationship, because you go there only one time and they get what you need to get fixed, and you don't have to go back.
Great point.
So you don't have to worry about being that guy who keeps going in every other week because one problem got fixed, but another one was just created. Everything gets addressed right then and there.
Amazing point. We didn't even practice that. That was a great job.
That's what I do.
And last but not least, we got Wicked Cutz. If you want to get the best haircut in town, go to Wicked Cutz. 2 locations, Daytona Beach and Port Orange.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
This locked in was something we probably should save for the NFL show.
Okay.
But, I can't wait. We're talking about all these rookie quarterbacks. I think when you look at who's going to get the rookie of the year, between the rookies, obviously.
Okay, sure.
It's
that's what usually gets the award.
It's it's hard to look at, because there may be someone who's more talented, but they don't have the opportunity of somebody else because there's a position in front of them.
Yep.
But I think Sam Darnold has an opportunity to start week 1. And that being said, if he's able to start week 1, I think he runs away with awards. I really do. I think he's clearly the best rookie quarterback, and I think if he has the opportunity that presents itself, he can run away with it.
Okay. Wow, I knew my locked in. I have it for the football show, and it has nothing to do with the rookies, so I was going there too because we wanted to talk about the rookies in preseason. I love it. We do this all the time. I'm a Sam Darnold guy. Locked for the Hall of Fame. Going to take the Jets into multiple playoff series, playoff runs. I can't wait. But the rookie of the year this year, lock this in, is
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon.
I'm okay with that. He's
Saquon Barkley. He'll be the rookie of the year. His stats will be, phenomenal fantasy football stats, a lot of touchdowns, and something that he kind of reminds me of Reggie Bush, of the big, crazy highlight play. And sometimes it's not even, you look at the numbers, but you're like, oh my God, the Barkley run, week 3. You know what I mean? He will have that this year. And Saquon Barkley, rookie of the year.
And it's interesting because he's going to have an immediate impact. There is no questions if he starts week 1. He'll have an immediate impact game 1.
He's going to get 35 touches week 1, right off the bat, throw him the ball, block, run the ball, special teams. He will be an impact.
And I think people may see us, listening to this podcast on all podcast platforms, locked in with 2 ends. I think they may think we're hyperbolic with Sam Darnold, but we're really not. If you watch him play, it doesn't take an expert to realize talent. He clearly is the quarterback of the future, and we'll see it.
That's a great point again, but it is why did he make it to the 3rd pick? Someone in Cleveland, that organization thought that Baker Mayfield would have been better. I say it all the time. I think I'm good at it. I think I'm really good at foreseeing talent. I called Darren Till 6 months ago. Oh, he's going to be the welterweight champion of the world. I thought it would be longer than it is. He's going to beat Tyron Woodley. I just think I'm good at seeing. Sean O'Malley, he's going to be a future stud in the MMA game. So I just think I'm good at that, but there's some people that are not, and they have those jobs, the Cleveland Browns.
We're not bashing Baker by any means. It's just to be the number 1 overall pick is a different expectation than it is the 2nd or 3rd.
Agree. If he was the 2nd rounder,
you'd say it's a good pick by Cleveland.
Me too.
All right. We just got locked in.
Wow.
Great episode. We have former UFC fighter Jim Alers joining us.
He was phenomenal. He was.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
Big up to Jim.
He has a gym opening up. He has 2 fights, 1 in Russia, 1 in Combat Night. So make sure you give him a follow. Make sure you give us a follow. Locked in with 2 ends on all social media platforms.
And real quick, follow my cousin over there, Max_Van_Auken.
Are you questioning my last name? We're cousins. A-U-K-E-N.
I nailed the underscores, right?
Yeah.
Okay, mine's just straight,
Auken?
clean. I did the Instagram back 2010. David Van Auken. Follow us. We throw up good stuff all the time, especially our stories, a lot about Locked In. So give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff.
There we go.
You like that one?
always,
Stay locked in.